We're on.
So what are you doing?
We want to thank you. Go ahead. Okay, I'd like to thank everybody for stopping in today. We have some guests here that have a lot of Elida history to tell us about today. So we have Ralph Long, in case somebody doesn't know you.
Yeah.
Ray Sroufe, Ted Sodders, Mr. Heath, Mr. Ken Heath, and then Kruse. There's probably a few people here. I can remember the time sitting in the front seat of the car, my window getting washed, my dad's window getting washed, with this guy with this big smiling face. So that's my history. So we're gonna let Jace go ahead.
Alrighty, can I start off with, I'll start with HUD, and can each of you guys tell me where each of you guys graduated and where you graduated from? I'm assuming it's all Elida, but just to make sure. Alright, HUD, start with you.
I graduated in '48 at Elida High School, and I graduated with Ted. Ted and I went from 1st to 12, so we played sports together and was always this catty corner, living on the same street back.
That's cool. Alright.
Okay, I'm Ken Heath. I graduated in 1959, and all 12 years here in Elida.
Ted Sodders graduated in 1948. Roman Ted here.
Ray Sroufe graduated in '59 from Elida.
Young man here, I graduated in '66. Just a child. Worked for that man.
So did I.
Yeah.
Over at the gas station, or okay, that's cool.
He didn't give his name.
Yeah, we used
Check
to
the
wash.
oil, wash cars,
Did all kind of things, man.
did all that kind of.
You had to.
Had to, yeah.
That was part of the service.
Yep.
Ralph. And you're Ralph, right?
Right, Ralph
Okay.
Long.
Okay. Alrighty, well, we'll open it up with what's each of your guys' favorite memories from high school? I'm sure or like school in general.
This is a mixed crowd here, so you want to be careful.
So when I went to school, Bill and Joe's was open, which was the restaurant right here beside me. We had an early station of buses and a late station of buses. So the early bus load would come down here before we go to school. So we come down here one day, the weather got bad. So they canceled school, all right? So we're over here in the restaurant. You guys remember Ted Wade? Terry Snow? They brought their band down. We set it up over here in the restaurant, and we had a jam all day. We didn't go to school.
Do you still? We were able to go up there when we were in junior high, and I'll hear 409 or Ruby Baby, and my mind goes right back there to Bill and Juice. Do you have that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, you used to come here when it was a grocery store and get snacks and food because the noon hour was open. You could leave.
We can leave the.
It still was when we were in school.
I've heard the Phil sticks from here were really good too, from what I've heard around.
Yeah, they were.
Do you remember Bears having it before? Okay, see, I forgot all about that.
Cub Bear.
He had
the
Joe's.
Yeah, he had Bill and Joe's before Bill and Joe.
Yeah.
Bill used to fix a great big gray tub of hamburgers. I think they were 25 cents.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and you come down here at noon and get a hamburger.
Yeah. And I think the basket of fries, that plastic basket, was like a quarter.
Yeah.
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 Anybody else have any high school memories
Oh,
or school memories?
I remember my friend Daryl Bauer graduated with us, and one time it was just the first period after lunch, and he took my pen and we were going to have a test, so I took off after him and went down the hall, turned the corner, and ran into Mr. Leis. He said, "Let's see how fast you can get to the office."
Did you get detention from it, or?
Probably not.
I don't think we had
I don't know
detention
how-
back.
what-
I don't think they had
Didn't get
detention
a
back then. You got the
detention.
board.
I'm trying to think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Couple
Yeah.
whacks,
Yeah, probably got a
Probably
couple
got a
whacks.
probably got a couple whacks or something.
We didn't have detention when we were in school.
And
Or it was maybe our senior year they started it.
I learned how to give them though, because I was a teacher.
When I was in school, I called Mr. Leis howdy. Howdy, howdy. And he didn't appreciate that very much. And he told me, my name's Mr. Leis to you, as long as we're in the school. And I always said, howdy, howdy. He'd take me into the office, beat me maybe once or twice. I've had a couple of beatings. But, and
I was gonna say,
we
Hud, it
used to-
sounds like you spent quite a bit of time there in Mr. Leis's office.
Yeah, and we used to skip school quite often, and Mr. Prince liked to play cards. He lived down here with me, and we would skip school and go between the houses and go over there and play cards all afternoon until it was time to go back to play basketball or something. And so we was always between time at school and skipping.
Yeah.
And I did a lot of skipping. They liked to play. We played Peter.
Well, didn't they play cards on North Street, right beside that garage right there beside the old fire station? There was a wood garage there. I always heard they played cards in there
They
quite.
played cards, drank beer, and had a good time.
Yeah.
Frank Fowles.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember
Yeah.
Frank.
Oh, yeah.
We went in there, and Frank was putting these old cards together. He'd have one half and another half,
Yeah.
and he'd weld them
You had a
together.
body shop there.
Yeah, and we'd go in there about every night or so, and then we'd head to line to the QP. After about 12:30 or whatever, we'd go to town and have a hamburger.
Art Schreiber had a biology class, and at the end of the year, there was 3 tests that we could take. And if you wanted to skip the first 2 and take the 3rd test, he would let you out of class. So I was 2 weeks. I took the 3rd test, passed it. He says, just stay out of the halls. So I get down and when the girls had their phys ed, I get down and play basketball with them. And then we went over to the FFA room, and I painted the sled for the football field. And stuff like that, but just stay out of halls ways. That was fun part.
Chuck Good and I tried to knock Jim Ayersman off that sled one day at practice. We got it raised about that high in the front, and he was laughing at us, calling us a bunch of, I won't say what he called us, but I'll never forget that. We hit that thing till we dropped.
Yeah.
So I was manager for the football team when I was a freshman. And my job, as soon as school got out, was to get down here to Enslen store and get 5 bags of Union Workman chewing tobacco. And take it back.
So what year was that the Enslen's was still here?
Well,
Or was it Holmes then?
see, this would have been 61,
Homes.
62.
Homes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
But I'd take it back to school, and Sroufe had a white bag about this tall. I put that chewing tobacco in that bag, and then I get all the pads on the sleds and everything. And the rule was, Prince got his, Sroufe got his, and then anybody else on the team, it was fair game as long as Sroufe and Prince didn't see you getting it.
Oh,
And you remember Alan Gamble?
oh, yeah.
Alan loved tobacco, chewing tobacco. And he was up the line calling a play, and you couldn't understand a word he was saying. And Sroufe was like, "What'd you say, Gamble?" He mumbled again, "What'd you say?" So, kind of gross, but he spit out about 1.5 gallons of fluid, and then he could talk. Sroufe, "That's better, I can hear you now." that was an everyday occurrence. 5 bags of union.
We used to put out plug tobacco for Prince and Sroufe. They take it, they'd always send the kid up to the station to buy the plug, but they won't chew back in plug.
Gary Johns used to chew tobacco. He's a couple years older than us, but he'd chew tobacco during a game. And you get down the stands and the guy over there, he'd spit on his head.
That's gross.
Oh, dear.
So, HUD, didn't Don go in the military and then come back and finish school here? Okay, I thought he did.
Yeah, he went in 46 and came back and graduated in 47. Just ahead of Ted and I. He graduated with Cleo.
So was he supposed to graduate in 46 then? Was he? Okay.
There was 4 of them that left school to go
Yeah.
go serve.
So while we're on the topic of high school, who's your guys' favorite teacher and why? Who was your guys' favorite teacher and why?
I know a couple of ones, so.
Go the other way, Frank, the other way.
I respected Mr. Sluss.
Yeah.
He was my favorite.
He was tough, but he was fair, real fair. I know because of a couple tests, he got me good enough grades that I could play on the weekends, play football on Friday night. So anyway,
Mr. Sluss was my favorite one. And I used to sit in class and think, how does he know all this stuff?
I would say that I would think the same with you though too.
Yeah.
Now, so
Well, that happened once, but I was always amazed at how it just came out of his mouth. He didn't have notes around or whatever. He was so good. But when I was teaching, I taught history for many years. But one time, one of the kids raised her hand and said, "Mr. Heath, how do you know all this?" I said, "You have made my day." Then I told him about Paul Sluss.
and Mr. Sluss had the best record collection. There wasn't a DJ alive
Really?
that had a record collection like Mr. Sluss did.
Yeah.
Well,
And he had played music before the school started.
he had awesome sound system set up right outside. It was by far greater than anybody else.
Yeah.
Man, he played that music before school.
Yeah, but not during.
Not very, no, when the bell rung.
Did he have that classroom back then that he always had?
We're upstairs.
Where they always had
Down
their,
the hall.
like a
Yep.
little lobby almost before you
Yep.
got
It used
into
to be
the.
a band room, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, music
Okay,
room.
I wondered why it was different.
I had a
They're back
man
up
by
there, back in that
Dr.
cubby.
Fisk,
Oh, yeah.
music teacher.
Yeah.
And one year, our whole season, we had to learn all the fight songs of the colleges in the area. Notre Dame, Ohio State, all the fight songs, that was our music.
That kept you interested.
Is that Mrs. Cohey?
No,
Oh,
Doc Fisk. I don't know what his first name was, only knew him as Doc Fisk.
Yeah. Mr. Fisk.
Mr. Fisk.
alrighty. So another interesting question. I'm gonna go around with each of you individually. But what did you guys do as like a career or trade after you graduated? We'll start with you, HUD.
What did I do?
What'd you go into?
I went into trimming bushes and tearing down fence posts and everything, tearing down barns and burning houses, and I just had a little bit of everything to do, and I'm still trying to do it, but I can't. I wish I was able.
And then you got into the fueling station business too, right?
Yeah.
how did that get started? I
Yeah.
thought you guys always had that.
Yeah. So that was pretty much it. But we had, I don't know if you know, Mr. Sroufe was a real accordion player.
Mhm.
And we'd go out after a game, we'd go out to the Blue Lake or somewhere, and Art would play the accordion and drink beer with it. And we had a good time
Yeah.
with Art after the game. But during the games, it was all business, but
Art Schreiber and another guy, Ron Strayer, they played music by ear. And that at the Farmers Institute and stuff. And those two could really put the piece
they were good. Art was
They were good.
He could play everything. Just squeeze that box and sing. Yeah.
Okay, I forget the question.
After graduation.
Oh, yeah, I have a good mind, it's just short. After graduation, of course, I went to college and taught school in Ottawa, Glandorf for 20 years and coached some basketball. I was varsity assistant. And then I went to Temple and where you went, and I was the principal there and taught history.
How long were you principal there for?
Pardon?
How long were you principal there for?
Oh, I don't know, I forget the number of years,
Mhm.
but, I will be starting in August, my 62nd year in education. And I'm not teaching anymore, but I'm, monitoring study halls with high school kids and junior high kids. Keeps me going. Enjoy it.
After I graduated, I didn't go to college, but I had several different jobs. In the machine shop in Jasdorf tool machine for a while. And then I worked at the Ford plant for a while. Worked down here at the elevator for a while. Then I worked for Kruse, Sohio for a while. And then went to Sears. And worked there for 5 years. And then I installed auto glass for 5 years, wherever the car was sitting. Then I went to the refinery for 20 years. Worked out there on shift work. Changed shifts every week for 20 years. And after that, just hanging around. A little bit of everything.
All right.
Sorry. I lost my dad when I was 13.
Mm.
So several of the teachers over there raised me.
Mm.
This man, when I got out of high school, you gotta understand, Vietnam was going on.
Yeah.
Because of my religious background, I was known as a conscientious objector. I did not go in the military.
Mm-hmm.
I worked at a county home for 2 years in place of going in the service, which was a farm community we farmed. After that, I stayed in the building industry, kind of so. Then I went from there. At a very young age, I bought my own semi and run over the road for a few years, several years, whatever. And during that time, I got involved in the fire service. I became a fire investigator, which got me a job with the insurance industry. As a private fire investigator, I traveled continental United States doing fire investigations up till, I guess I was 60 plus when I finally left that. Then I went to Apollo, taught fire training at Apollo. Give that up when I was 70 because my body wouldn't take it anymore. My mind would, but my body wouldn't take it. Still working. I work for a company that sells fire equipment, so. I'm sorry, Jane.
No, you're fine.
No, I'm
Nope.
not. I haven't
Keep
been
talking.
fined. I haven't been fined for years.
You said it, we didn't.
Another thing that I got involved with was, back in mid-80s, volunteering at track meets. And then I got my license in 85 for Ohio High School. And I used them for 30 years. And then a couple of years after 85, I got my USA track and field license, which colleges qualified me for the Olympics, which never happened. But I've been all over the United States and Hawaii and Puerto Rico working track meets. And I had my license in Florida for 3 years. But now I'm back here. I volunteered a couple already. I went to watch one and ended up volunteering, and then they asked me if I could come back and do another one. And so I'll probably still hang on as long as I can stand up. I'll probably still work some track meets. Enjoyed them. Did a lot of Big Ten stuff. I was known as a finish line coordinator for the Jesse Owens Classic in Columbus for about 17, 18 years. Went to North Carolina for a track meet that was kids from all over the United States competing. And the best ones were the senior masters meets, they call them. You had to be at least 35 years old to be able to compete until death. And the oldest guy I ever dealt with was out in Oregon at Hayward Field. This guy was 102 years old throwing the shot put. In Hawaii, there was a guy from Japan, 91 years old, pole vault.
Oh my gosh.
Boy, these guys are good. Granted, they didn't go too high, but they did it. Man, but really enjoyed that. There's track meet on television, I'm watching it.
That's cool. Alrighty, I think we're just about to that point where we're gonna wrap it up. But to wrap it up, I'm gonna ask one more question, and that question is, what was it like growing up in the community back from like, I don't know, the 20s on through the 60s? What was it like growing up in the village of Elida back in those days?
It was the best. It still was the best. The old days, it was top notch, and we had enjoyed the town, and they did everything pretty much to allow you to play different games and do meetings and
After dark. Playing hide and seek and all that kind of stuff after dark.
back then.
King of the mountains.
Yeah.
Rob's thinking
Play
about.
peggy and knock it over in someone's backyard, and the old man would come out, you grab it and take it in the, so you quit. You didn't keep playing, but everything was back then, I think it was great, and I enjoyed the time in Elida. On skateboards, we had to make our own toys and that stuff, and to take a 2x4 and put wheels under it, and scoot around. It was
They're rolling skates apart and put them on a slat of wood
You made your own.
and made your own. Yep.
Anybody else have anything?
Even hook a sled on behind the car.
Oh, heaven's sake.
During the summer, during the winter snows.
Oh, yeah. I rode clear to town. Back then, the snow didn't leave, and you hook a car, and you would go to town, and then you'd hook one and come back on the highway, and then you'd come down here, and the fella used to take his old Model A Ford or whatever, and he'd take it down on the creek down here and do turnarounds and that, and you'd hook your sled on the back, and he'd throw you in the snowbank or throw you around, and
No fellow that tried.
It was a good time.
I remember when Hud just got out of the service and he came home and bought a Buick. Green, red, and yellow. Big old Buick. I mean, it was ugly, I thought, it was the ugliest car I ever saw, but he liked it and it worked well.
I went home, I ordered that Buick, and I went home, they said, "What did you order?" And I said, "I ordered a red, yellow, and green Buick." I said, "I look out here at the stoplight, and it's red, yellow, and green." I said, and I always liked that stoplight. So one day, I had Bob Steeman, and I told him down at the station, I said, "This Buick runs, I can race everybody." I said, "It'll outrun them." I said, "The speedometer goes clear past 100, and then it goes out." So I said, "Let's go up from the truck stop to that red light, I can get 100. And so he got in with me, and we went up and turned around there in the truck stop. I kicked it in high gear, and we come down through there, and, and my dad said, "What was that?" And my brother said, "That was your son." That was bad. So I went back, I said, "I told you, but I was lucky because there was no one to hit me." But I did 100 some in that distance. But we used to always go over on 81 in Allentown, on out and race. And we'd get the guys from the square to go out on Allentown Road, and then we'd have a flagman, and away we'd go down two at a time, down the Allentown.
I thought Don was the bad one.
Quiet one.
Oh, yeah.
Did you win a lot of races, Hud?
Yeah, oh yeah. In the long run, I'd be ahead of them. It would take me down a bit, but then you wind it up, but boy, it would fly. I had it until I got married. My wife didn't like the color of it, so I had it painted black. And then I sold it.
So if you worked at Kruse's, there was one job that you had to do. There used to be an ambulance out of Delphus.
Delphus Junior
Junior
Harder.
Harder. And that was the only way you could get quickly from Delphus to Lima, and you did it very quick. Well, there used to be a rest area out here west of town. Junior would get to that rest area, he'd give a certain series of sirens. We knew he was coming.
So we'd have,
Everybody at Kruse's went down to the traffic light and got the intersection cleared because Junior was gonna come through there one way or the other.
I didn't want to know.
yeah, as fast as it would go.
Yeah.
We'd have to make sure nobody got in the way through the intersection. Yep, I remember that.
Great how we all survived.
So Hud, I got a question for you. At one time, was there not 4 gas stations in Elida on Route 30?
At one time, I would say there was.
It was Kruse's. My dad had mobile gas there where Behart's Organ is now. And then
Yeah.
it was Sinclair Truck Stop and then Ladd Station, right?
Yeah.
Pure.
And the first station in Elida was in Bucktown.
Okay,
And his name was Frankhauser.
okay,
And it was an old house that sat right there on the other side of where the deli is. And he had a pump out front of old front porch.
Okay.
And he'd sit out there on the porch and people would come by and he pumped gas. And that was the first, but it was Bucktown.
okay.
Yeah, but-
And for you that don't know where Bucktown was, is right up here on 309, where that road that goes back to the pallet company. That was Bucktown.
Where that pallet was.
So,
Right next to Old Time Pantry, that little street.
what was the guy that had the horses back there?
Dyer.
Dyer, Gene Dyer.
Dyer.
Yeah.
That's another story.
That was it. They went to horse shows.
Yeah.
That's why my wife had a show horse
Yeah.
And that's what I said, I was out horsing around when I met her. Up here in the White Acres.
Well, Johnny Smith never had a gas station, did he?
No,
No.
no, just a garage.
Just a garage.
He sold
Hudson dealership.
Hudson, yeah.
Hudson dealership, and he had a garage there.
Is that
Uh,
across the road?
Yeah, where Layman's is at now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it called, Hudson?
Hudson.
Johnny Smith's
Right,
garage.
Smith's
yeah,
garage, but
But he
what-
sold Hudson cars.
Hudson.
You don't even know what those are.
I believe your story. So he actually not only had the car service there, then he sold these Hudson cars.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
Yeah.
hadn't heard that on anything
And
yet.
his wife was
Right.
a mechanic.
Yes,
Yeah, she was good
Yes.
mechanic.
Oh, she was
Yeah.
good, yeah.
She
That was where the
tough
telephone-
cookie.
Kinda like where the
No,
telephone.
no.
no,
No.
Layman's,
Where
where
Layman's
Layman's is
Right where
at.
Layman's is at.
Oh, back this way,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, between,
So what was ever on that corner where the telephone place was, anything?
I don't remember anything but the telephone company,
Yeah.
but
I don't remember anything else.
Who was the person that had, on the other side of the road, go past where the Bucktown thing is? Or back is, no, that way, had a body shop or,
Dean Dyer.
It was
Yeah,
just-
Gene Dyer.
well, there was like a turquoise colored house kinda up close to the road, and they used to have canoes,
Oh, you're going the other way.
yeah, going out.
Yeah,
of town.
Miller's.
But was it a body
Yeah, he had a body shop in the back,
Okay.
which burnt.
Okay.
On fire in 70,
This is like down maybe where the new water tower is around that
Well-
area, kinda.
it was right where Happy, right where Happy
okay.
Days is at, right in that area there. They had a, tackle,
That's what I.
bait and
okay.
tackle, and then he had a body shop behind there.
Okay,
It burnt like in 78 or 9, something like
I
that.
can remember that though, earlier.
The name, I think it was Miller's,
Yeah,
Miller's
that sounds
Tackle,
right.
Miller's Bait Shop, something like that.
I just remember those canoes being out in the front
Yeah.
yard. Act like that.
I'm sorry.
All right. Did anybody else have anything?
I have a couple questions. for
Okay.
you.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, back in the, annuals for 55 and 56, there's an advertisement in there for Jenny's Place. Can anybody have any recollection?
Jenny Sherry.
I wondered if
Had a
that's,
restaurant at the airport.
and that was Jenny's Place? Okay, cause see, I remember that, cause Mom worked there, and I can remember going there, like, Mom would take me, and then before Dad would pick me up then when he got off work. So it was the airport restaurant
Right.
then, okay. Cause back in the old days, in
Baby
the
Road.
annuals, they don't tell the address, cause everybody knew where they were at. Now, there was another one in there, this was in 51, and it was Betty's. It was called Betty's, and it acted like it was a restaurant. Where was that
I
at?
don't know. Betty
Nothing
Beauty
ringing a
Shop,
bell
but
there?
I
Cause
don't
it just
know.
said Betty's in Elida, Ohio is all it said.
Was there a Betty's that was a beauty shop?
Beauty shop.
I think
Betty's
it was the
was a
beauty
beauty
shop, yeah,
shop.
cause I saw that in some of those old yearbooks.
Okay,
Yeah.
do we know where that one would have been located?
If we could find a yearbook.
Right where that gas station.
So that was Betty's after the gas station and before Pauline's
Right.
then?
Are you
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Betty.
Oh, I do.
But we also had an airport right back here,
Yeah, Frank Baker's.
Jacobs.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a picture.
Oh, really?
And there's a hangar behind that house. That's where he kept his airplane.
Now, where was this at?
We're full
Set
Jacobs.
back,
The end of the alley.
where Baker's airport. You know, he-
About halfway
he had a
from
runway
Plum to
up
the
and
end of the
down
road.
Jacobs back there. Paul Jacobs bought it and farmed it, but before that.
So that was before, like, kind of where Orchard and all of that is
Yeah,
now?
right,
Yeah.
Kind of in that
Yeah,
area?
that was an airport,
Okay.
but it was private.
Airplane out of the barn,
Mr.
went out
Baker
in the field.
flew out
and
of
into
it,
the runway.
and he had a hangar built, and the hangar's still back there.
Okay, wow. Okay, that's.
Did
something
you guys
maybe
start the
take
gas
information.
station, or was it there and you bought it, or when and how did that come about?
Over here.
They
You were
started
over here, right?
Over here in
Yeah.
40,
I saw that in some of the old yearbooks.
yeah, and then in 1950, they built the one up here, because the highway, they didn't go through there at that time. It was Main Street all the way into Lyman, and they had a interurban bus that went from Lyman to Fort Wayne, and they they traveled back, and this, right here in front of the store was a bus pickup. They stopped, and a bunch of the ladies would go to the lineman shopping, and then they would come back on the bus at
Yes.
6 o'clock or whatever, the latest bus that run, they would come back to Elida.
That's a story I tell my kids, and every time I start to tell it, they go, "Mom, you've already told us this story 5 times." But it's a story I love telling them.
Yeah.
So then, back to the gas station that was on this corner. Whose gas station was that?
That was Red and Johnny Holmes.
So Johnny and them had that before it was the beauty shop.
And then they built the new one, the
Right.
Puro.
Okay,
That was
so
it.
then that would have ended when they built the one down there, okay?
That-
We've got researched when they built that one, but we're unable to get back on what happened over here.
I think that was the Phillips. Red and Johnny had Phillips,
Yeah.
and yours was the Sohio.
Okay,
Do you remember, in my mind, it seems like I remember, it could be a fake memory, old visible gas pumps where you could see the gas? Was that what was across there, or was it you guys didn't have
No.
those, did you?
In front of the hardware store, that was one,
Okay.
gas
I
pump.
somewhere I
Pump to
remember,
that
thought I
one.
remembered them here in town, those
Yeah.
old visible, because there was still some of those around when I started driving.
Yeah, and then like I say, there's the garage right behind this building, and my dad had a garage and a gas pump that sold gas across from the post office. The post office sit right across the
so
street.
did your dad have that before you guys had this one over
No,
here then?
we
Or
had
this
this
was
first.
one first?
Yeah.
Okay,
That one over there was in 45 or 6.
okay,
And then this one up here was in 50.
okay, and then you went from here to the corner?
Yeah,
Okay,
How much was gas back then over here, do you know?
so high.
How much? A gallon?
Oh,
10 cents.
I'd say 30 cents or 40. A quart of oil was about 15 cents. I don't know. It wasn't very much.
I remember getting 22 and 23 cents when they'd have a gas war, maybe it was a quarter normally. That was in '66 when I started driving.
Yeah.
Around 60, that was a lot like quarter
Yeah.
gallon, 28, 29, 25 cents, you could find it.
Dollars worth of gas to go a long way.
Yeah.
Put a bus
Put your,
worth-
put your money together and get $1 worth of gas and go drive all night.
Alrighty, guys. I think I'm gonna wrap it up now. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys for letting this happen. This is Jace McDonald, historian, signing off.